Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Swift Challenger 480. These are the Fairway Edition ones. These are essentially a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. So starting off first, we have your black hitch head just here with black lever, which you have to have pulled up. That means you can then wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow bar itself. It will snap down that black handle, push up that red button and expose a green ring. You then have a breakaway cable underneath. Now with regards to the breakaway cable, if you have an eye point it has to be used, if not wrap it around the tow bar. You've got your handbrake just here, which is on a press release system. Just pretty much flick it up to engage it, push it down to disengage it. And then you have 13-pin electric fitted. So if you do have 7-pin adaptation on your car, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. Now we're running our test equipment today. So just here I have a red propane gas bottle with an in-date gas hose just here. Black gas hoses run for 5 years. That connects onto this here. Now this is what's called a duo regulator. So you can see right now that it's pointing towards that hose. Now what you can have is 2 separate bottles connected up onto here, and let's say one bottle runs out, you can flick that over onto the other side and use the other bottle, but make sure you've got the correct connection on. They're both firmly connected to either side, and then you can twist it in the positive or open direction to feed in the gas. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. The caravan itself will come with a leg winder, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. They're simply used for stabilisation. First level using the jockey wheel, then put down all 4 corner steadies. Coming around the other side, starting off first, we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Then just here we have your plug-in for your water connection. So I've got an Akrol here full of clean drinking water, and this is your water pump. To remove the water pump, you have to press in on this trigger and pull out like so. You do have to give it a fair bit of a yank. Now this just inserts in by just pressing in. Then it's locked in, can't be removed without pressing in that trigger. You have this plastic cap to go over the top of the Akrol to make sure no nastiness gets in, and then at the bottom you have your strainer. Now it's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel, as otherwise it can lead to coughs and splutters. So my recommendation, because as you can see they do tend to curl up a little bit, get some PVC piping or something like that, put it around the bottom so it's always straight, and then you won't have to worry that much. And as you can see, just presses in like that. Next up we've got your battery locker. Just here is where your battery would sit. It's with terminals that you'll need a 12mm spanner to connect onto. You then have your plug-in for your mains just here. Mains plugs in nice and easy, and you have a cutout where essentially you'll feed through the mains lead to lock up the compartment. Just here we have your rollers for the motor mover. The motor mover will be shown on collection. Then just here we have your toilet function. So first up, underneath here we have where your wastewater will come out of from both your shower and your sink. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipes and then feed into a waste master that you can then empty out at the appropriate point on site. Just here we have your cassette toilet. To remove the cassette toilet, press up on the orange handle and pull out just like so. Now this does also extend out and up, so it can essentially be used as a carry-on suitcase. Then with this head, twist it to the side, open up that compartment just like so. What you want to do is tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing that vent button. Now you can also open up this compartment here and feed in some fresh water. This is only a recommendation. Give it a little bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent. Then on this cap here you have measurements in both imperial and metric. That's for your blue chemical. blue chemical goes into there, back onto that compartment, twist the head to the side, push it in so that orange head sits behind those white teeth. Then just above we have your flush tank. Your flush tank itself can hold 12 litres of water, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You can also add pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes the toilet smell a bit nicer. Now you don't want to travel with either of these too full, so just up here you've got where this little bung sits. Open up that bung to drain off any remaining water from this flush tank. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you leave with it. Then underneath your right hand side seat we have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything underneath. You can open up that compartment and have access to your boiler if you ever need to do a reset. You have these two flow jets which are essentially what will pull through the water into the boiler with these blue tubes connecting, and that yellow switch valve. That yellow switch valve is your drain valve. Horizontal position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come through. Vertical position, that will drain off any remaining water inside the system. We will leave the caravan with that in the vertical position when you collect. November to March, have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and anytime you come off site make sure to just give it a quick drain off. So that's that part. This blue box here is your brain box for your motor mover. You have both your trips and your fuses just here. All your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. As you can see here, you have heating and hot water and charger both illuminated, meaning they're both active and working. Then you have a reverse polarity button if you ever go abroad, and then a complete system shutdown button. Press that in, nothing inside the caravan is able to operate. Then you have this silver box on the side, which is your battery charger. As well, if you ever need to do a reset on the panel or whatever it is, you have a bit more information on your trips and fuses down here. Then just here we have your main control panel. So you can see here you have a sensor for when you're turning it on. You can circle through. So right now it's showing me that 13.1 or 2 volts are coming into the caravan. Now when you're plugged in with your mains, that will show from the mains power. When you're not, that will show the amount coming from the battery. You can see no vehicle battery, no solar. Then you have an AC limit which you can set. Internal temperature is currently 11.6, and you've got a couple of different settings through here as well. System settings, heater settings, sergeant alarm, showing you that the leisure battery is good. But we'll come over to this side. So first up you have lights for inside here. So you have the lights for the front on this one, and then the other lights just here. Then you have your awning light. Press that in and you can go to the outside, check and see awning light active and on. Then you have your pump button just here. Press that in, and what that does, it begins to pull through the water from outside and into the boiler. Now the boiler itself has a capacity, so what it does is it will fill up the boiler to its maximum capacity, and anytime that you open up a tap it will replace the water. So as we've just turned it on, we're going to wait about 2 to 3 minutes to allow the water to circulate in, so then we can check on the taps. Whilst we're waiting for that, I will show you the Alderwet central heating. So turn that on using this button, it will flash up and then come to your home screen. So internal temperatures will differ from that panel in comparison to this panel. First up you have the internal temperature, which you can go up or down in 0.5, or you can also press and hold to make it go up. Then you have your shower icon, which is for your water temperature. So you can either have it off as it is now, midway, which will get the water temperature to around about 40 or 50 degrees, or full. Now what full does, it prioritizes the water heat itself over the heating of the actual caravan for around about an hour or so. It will get it up to a temperature of around about 60 to 70 degrees. So it's ideal if you want to use a shower or something like that. And then after that period of time, it will drop down to midway. So essentially it's on like a timer for it. Now, with regards to this as well, just got to double check and correct here. Yeah, you have your Alder tank in the back here. Now, during the service, we have checked to ensure that the Alder fluid is at an appropriate level. When the Alder system is on, this will essentially bubble up. So don't unscrew the cap. When you have it serviced annually, it is something that they will check as well and add any fluid if necessary. Going back to this panel, you then have your energy sources. So you can either run electric with 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. Now do be aware that some sites do not have 3 kilowatt capacity. Or you can run a mixture of gas and electric, or strictly gas. So you've got the choice of gas mains or a mixture of both. Then you have your settings just here. Not going to run through these as we have set it to what we believe is the most appropriate way to have it set, the most user friendly. But if you'd like to have a look inside your book pack to see what they represent, please do so. And then to turn off this panel, you press in there. If you don't interact with the panel a little bit at a time, it will naturally fade off. But as you can see here, when I press menu or press the panel, nothing's turning on, so it's completely off. So it's been about 2 to 3 minutes. So open up the tap. You might get the odd cough and splutter just to start. But then what you're looking for is this nice, steady, continuous stream. If there's any coughs or splutters, go outside, check that the strainer is at the bottom of the barrel, check that the switch valve's in the correct position, and that the Akrol has plenty of water in it. But as you can see, nice, steady, continuous stream. And you let it run for about 30 seconds just to check. Now, as you can hear, we've taken some water out and it's been replaced. Anytime I open it up, it's got to replace it. So, quick summary on this. Awning light, internal lights, water pump. And you can see little blue part to tell you that they're on. And just here we have your hob grill and oven. So all of this operates on gas, minus the electric plate. For the electric plate, spin it to the correct gas mark and it will get to temperature. Everything else, press in on the dial, twist it to the side and press in your igniter just here. Now it may be a case that essentially the flame will light up to start with and then it might cut out, or it might be a case that it's a bit slow to start up with, especially if you've just plugged in with the gas. Don't be alarmed, that's just the gas making its way through its system. So this is what it looks like when they're all lit. And as you can see, all burners nice and lit. Turn that off. Then again for the grill, so press that in, twist to the side. Would probably have helped if I was doing the correct one and if my phone wasn't going off, but you can see the oven nice and lit there. And then your grill. So you can see both sides nice and lit again. Now, only other thing to note, make sure you travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all these burners are cold to the touch. And you can travel with the gas hose on, but with the bottle off. So no gas coming into the actual system itself. And just here we have your Dometic fridge operation. So to turn this on, press and hold on this button. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case was mains on full capacity. I can change the source by pressing in on the button. So I've got mains, gas, or 13-pin electric. So when you're plugged into your car, not leisure battery, only when you're plugged into your car. So change source. Now press in on gas. You can see gas is now lit. Now with gas, it may be a case that it will gradually begin to tick in. Then once it's finished ticking, that means it is then lit. I am going to press this just so you can see what it looks like with the hazard. It begins to flash up and beep, so just switch it back over to mains. Then you have the amount of power coming into the fridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. Now it does take around 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill, so I'd recommend just having it on that setting whilst you're driving, or chill it the night previous. Now it will naturally go a little bit dimmer, so it doesn't disturb you too much. And then to turn it off, press and hold in, no more LEDs. Then lastly we have your toilet, which is bog simple. Lift up this, press in your flush button, and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push out any water inside the flush tank. As I've drained it off, there's no water. To empty your waste, press away on this handle, opens up your cassette, pull it back towards you to shut it up, and when the cassette is full, there'll be a red light come on underneath telling you to empty it.